I ain't even gonna hold y'all with a whole intro. I've been gone 3 months and I'm back. So we're just gonna hop right on into it. Like, I'm not even gonna hit y'all with, hey y'all, yada yada yada. Like, we're here. For those who do not know though, I am Jasmine. This is my YouTube channel. It's all about creativity, art, creative lifestyle, all of that good stuff. And I have been gone for 3 months. 3 months. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. Okay, y'all, I have notes. I do have notes because I'm going to try to make this in kind of like a 2-for-1 video. So first of all, I'm going to give y'all just a brief little life update because I know y'all are like, where are you? People been hitting me up like, when's your next vlog? Like, Jasmine, we ain't seen you in a minute. I know. So I'm going to give y'all a quick life update, and then that's going to roll into the second half of this video because I feel like it's all related. So we're just gonna call this the new era video because that's where I've been. I have been jumping into this new era of life since March, because I feel like that's the last time I was on here. It was like March. So okay, here we go. I turned 30 in March. I turned 30. I was excited to turn 30. I mean, I had a cute little party. I went on some trips. Like, I did 30 all the way. I did 30 all the way up, and now fast forward, we're 3 months into 30. Life looks completely different than the last time that I did a video, and I'm just gonna tell y'all where I've been. So first of all, the most easy answer is work. If this is your first time watching a video for me, I am a full-time school social worker, and then I have a part-time job as a support coordinator in social work as well. So I'm doing social work quite often, and if you work in a school district, if you've ever worked in a school district, you should know that about March is when things start turning up. We got SOLs coming up. We're doing all the types of tutoring and remediations. We're getting ready for end of the school year events. So like field day and cookouts and graduations and award ceremonies. And then also the families be tripping because it's starting to warm up. Folks getting a little ghetto. They don't want to send their kids to school because they're like, oh, it's the end of the year. That's when it turns into my job because I'm like, why aren't you sending your kids to school? Like, it's a lot going on. So I was literally like running at work all the time. So that is one place that I have absolutely been pouring 99% of my energy into, which is work. Which leads right into the other thing. If you watch some of my other videos, you know that like work has been taking over my life consistently for far too long, and I have been considering a career change. This is outside of me wanting to consider a career change into full-time creativity, because that is still ultimately the goal, 100%. But I was looking at something maybe more in the immediate meantime. And so I had started really applying to jobs, interviewing for jobs, being very intentional about that whole process. And y'all know job applications and job season is a lot. And right now the job market is trash, and they're not trying to pay the girlies what they deserve. I also mentioned possibly moving. So I was looking into different apartments in different states and applying to different jobs in different states, and you know, really considering whether that was gonna be a move for me. And actually, I'll probably get more deep into this on the second half of the video, but let's just say things got a little hectic and I had to process through all of that. Relationships, which again, I'm gonna get more into this in the second half of the video, but if you just only gonna watch the first part, I'll just throw this out here. I have been in a long-term relationship for the past 2 years, and that relationship recently ended. And so I was dealing with the fallout of that and making sure that I was feeling all of my emotions and all of that stuff. So, and I was taking the immersion class, the Bonnie Christine immersion class, which that is going to be an entirely separate video because that class did wrap up, and I've been getting comments and messages from people asking me like, hey, how'd the class go? I'm considering the class, but should I pay for it? Yada yada yada. So I am going to make a separate video on the Bonnie Christine immersion 2023 course and how that went for me. But if you again just want a short version, the answer is yes, absolutely worth the money. Absolutely feel more confident, more skilled, and you know, calling myself a whole artist out here, a whole surface pattern design artist after that class. So I will make a separate video for those who want to know the nitty gritty of Bonnie Christine. That was kind of just like a quick rundown of what life has been looking like for me. But what I really want to do in this video, because again I'm calling this just the new era video, is lay out exactly what has been coming up for me personally in the last 3 months since turning 30. So like I was saying, I turned 30 in March, and I was like terrified to turn 30. I was like, I'm supposed to have this by now, I'm supposed to have that by now. I'm supposed to, like, I'm launching a YouTube, I'm trying to switch to a creative career. Like 30 scared me because 30 did not look like what it looked like to me when my parents were 30 or when my aunts and uncles were 30. Like I was like, I'm supposed to be a whole adult out here, and that freaked me out. But with lots of prayer, lots of reflection, lots of just reaffirming who I am, 30 feels really good. Like I'm excited about it. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. I feel like I love who I am and how I move right now. And I'm really optimistic about what this new era in my life looks like. So the second part of this video is going to be for my girls who might be right at 30, who might be right under 30, who might be in their early 20s, even their young teens. And I just want you to hear what I wish somebody would have told me. So we're gonna do this cute little thing that I have written up in my notes, 30 quick things that I learned by 30. And when I mean quick, like I could probably go very deep into most of these, but again, there's 30 of them, and I'm trying to actually keep this video pretty short. So we are just gonna start in no particular order. The first one is the best gift at this age is knowing yourself. That has been the biggest gift and the biggest blessing of my life, especially right from where I am right now. Because like I was saying in the first half of this video, life recently threw a lot of stuff at me. Like I was planning on moving in with a person and switching cities and switching jobs, and I was very sure about that. And I had my own plan, and life was like, actually, no, you don't even need to be in this situation. And so, you know, ending a relationship, re-signing my contract to a job that like I thought I was leaving, because I did re-sign my contract for next year. You know, staying in my apartment, which I love. Y'all know I love my apartment. But like these are all things that could have very much knocked the wind out of me if I did not know who I was. If I did not feel like I was standing on solid ground, these are things that could have totally like wrecked my whole concept of self. But because I've worked so hard to know who I am and what I want, and I have my own routine and I have my own things, like losing things, I grieved. I felt the feelings that I needed to feel, but it did not feel like I lost myself. Truly, there's like a thing where it's like anything else in your life should be extra, so that if they leave, they fall off, you are still standing here. Like I am whole, I am solid. These were things that were in my life, and then once they fell away, I'm still standing, and I still know who I am, and I still like who I am, and I still love my life, and I still love my apartment, and my job stresses me the hell out, but I'm still so good at it, and I still love those kids. That is the biggest blessing that I've had at this age. And I know it sounds very abstract to be like, know yourself, but I mean seriously. And I'll get into some things like in this list that taught me how to learn myself, but like learn yourself, date yourself, journal, talk to yourself, take pictures of yourself, take videos, do all of that stuff, because I would have been a wreck right now. Like there wouldn't even be a video, wouldn't even be me coming back. It would be like, oh, Jasmine's been gone for like another year. Like no, I know who I am, and that has been the biggest blessing. So that's the first thing. That runs straight into the next thing. Let go of things with grace. Stop trying to hold on to things that are clearly not for you. Stop trying to prove a point because you don't want something to look like a failure. You don't want to look like you failed at that job by leaving it. You don't want to make it look like you failed that relationship by leaving it. You don't want to make it look like you failed out of college or whatever the case may be. Like, learn how to let go of things with grace. And when I say with grace, I mean without shame, which honestly is another thing on the list. So we can go right into shame, which I think goes into another thing. So honestly, yeah, learn to let things go without shame. Like, there is nothing embarrassing about your life. We can be walking through life and have our own plan and everything be beautiful, and then life just happens to us. Like, life has happened to me so many times where I am literally just on my way living my life, and then something super traumatic or something super hurtful just happens to me. Life is always going to happen, and for whatever reason, especially as women, when things like this happen to us, we feel ashamed because it's like, oh, this shouldn't happen to me. Oh my God, I have another failed relationship. Oh my God, I trusted the wrong person. Oh my God, I wore the wrong thing. Like, there's so many ways that we shame ourselves for life just happening to us, and there is nothing for you to be ashamed of. There's literally nothing for you to be ashamed of. Like, most of the things that come through our life aren't our fault. Some of them are, for sure. But also, you can only do your best with the information that you have at the age that you had it. So like, there's just no reason for you to hold on to things out of fear of shame. Like, don't hold on to something for too long just because you don't want to look stupid. Like, that's not a thing. Let go of what you need to let go of. Let it go with grace. You don't have to yell about it, announce it, go on live and scream at the cameras. Like, you don't have to be nasty about it at all. Just let it go. Let it go. That is something I've definitely learned in my last few years. Give yourself and others grace. Most of us are doing this for the very first time, and we're just trying to figure it out. Again, that relates back to that whole thing about shame. Don't be embarrassed about your life. You are just trying to figure it out. This is your first time experiencing life at all. Sometimes it takes a few times for us to learn the lesson. It's taken me a few times to learn the lesson, but you gotta give yourself grace, because the time that you did the second time is a little bit different than the time you did it the first time, and the third time is a little bit different until you get it. And God, trust and believe, God is gonna throw the same lesson at you again and again and again until you get it. So you have plenty of time to learn it, okay? Once you get tired, you'll learn it. Give yourself grace. Do it anyway. Do it afraid. Do it even though you don't know exactly what you're doing. Do it even if somebody doesn't want you to do it. Like, do it anyway. Your fear of looking stupid is holding you back a lot. As somebody who, you know, used to really care about what people thought of me, or used to really care, especially like my family, what they think about me, and am I pleasing them, and am I living up to what everybody thought I would do, especially as somebody who comes from like a high achieving background. Everybody thinks that you're gonna do this and do that, and then I'm like, actually, nah. That's not what I want to do, right? I want to start YouTube. I want to post content. I want to be an artist. Do it anyway. Nobody else is going to understand it sometimes, and that's fine. But most of the time, people end up thinking it's cool as hell. And they're like, oh, I saw you did this. This was cool. Or what made you want to do this? This is cool. Or like, seeing you do this makes me want to do what I want to do. So just do it anyway. You're an adult now. Literally, do it anyway. So that leads to another one. That is like, don't rely on other people to give you advice on what to do with your life. And as somebody who is recovering from not knowing how to trust myself, my own decisions, I would like go to my mom, my dad, I mean, honestly, my parents for sure, because up until this age, I still go to them, you know, but feeling like I'm an adult and feeling like I'm able to make own decisions for my life, that's hard. And I would go to people all the time and just say, what would you do in my situation? But learning that nobody knows my life the way that I know it. Nobody's feeling the emotions the way that I feel them. Nobody's processing it the way that my brain is processing it. This is a me journey. Nobody's the expert on my life but me. And you can carry that over to social media with all these quotes and these posts, and you're supposed to do this, especially in this era of like, I guess like pop therapy, where everybody's like trying to use these memes to like define their actions and things like that going forward. Like, all of that is BS. Nobody knows your life but you. Take what applies and leave everything else. Honestly. Like, I don't care if it worked for that person. I don't care if there's a whole self-help book that is on the bestsellers list about how this is how you're supposed to live your life. Like, do not. Only you know what's best for your life. Take all of this stuff with a grain of salt. Apply what is needed for your life, and keep it moving. And do that knowing that like you are the expert of your life. You made the best decision with what you have and what you know about yourself. And sometimes nobody else is going to understand that, and that's perfectly fine as long as you're able to get through it. Nobody cares. Just do it. So the next one, and this one is really for my younger girls. Older girls too, but definitely for my younger girls. I wish somebody would have told me this next thing in high school and like early college. So I'm gonna say it now. Do not make long-term life decisions based off of a person. Like, if you want to go study abroad, if you want to take a job in a whole nother part of the world, if you want to explore something, don't not do it because you have a boyfriend at home. Don't not do it because your parent is afraid to see you leave for a little while. Like, don't not do it. Take the risks. Do the things that you truly want to do. Do not hold yourself back for other people. Do not allow your feelings, I don't care how much you love that person, do not allow them to stop you from taking advantage of opportunities that God has given to you, because you're gonna regret it every single time if you do. You're gonna regret it so much. And the people who are right for you, the people who love you, the people who want to see you happy, they're gonna find a way to adjust to whatever it is that you want to do anyway. Every single time. What is meant to be will be. The people who are supposed to be in your life are gonna be in your life. They will figure it out. It's not gonna be easy, but they will figure it out. What you need to make sure that you do, though, is always take advantage of the things that you want to take advantage of for you and only you. If somebody would have told me that way before now, there's no telling how many other opportunities that I would have went for. There were things that I didn't apply for because I was like, oh my God, I could never imagine leaving this person. Or there were career paths that I didn't take because I was told like, oh, you need to make sure that it's gonna come with a retirement. That's not a real job. Or, you know, making real life decisions based off of what other people said to me or how they made me feel or whatever the case may be. Like, I probably would be living in a studio loft in New Orleans with the windows open, painting in a sunroom right now, if not years ago, if I would have just taken some more chances. And so, not saying it's too late for me at all. There's a whole nother thing on here. But just, you're young, you have nothing tying you down, you're living your life. Like, live your life for you 100%. So that goes to this next part, centering yourself. Make sure that you are your center. Like, in a world, in a universe where all these things are in different orbits, we're all orbiting around the sun, you are the sun. You are your own sun every single time. And I know that can sound very privileged, especially as someone who doesn't have kids and who's not married and like doesn't have like huge family responsibilities and things like that. But even in those cases, whether you believe it or not, you are still the sun. And you can ask my closest friends, I am always telling them this. I am always reminding them that they are still the sun. You cannot pour from an empty cup, but like, you cannot nourish anything or anybody else fully if you are not your center. And if you don't take the time to always reevaluate and make sure that you are your center, like you're gonna start to see the cracks sooner or later. You're gonna start feeling burnt out, or you're gonna start realizing that you're self-sacrificing a lot of the things that you want for other people, or you're gonna start to realize that like the life that you truly know that you want for yourself, you're telling yourself you don't because maybe your partner doesn't want that life, or your family doesn't want that life for you. And it's because you're not making yourself the center of everything. Once you make yourself your center, and it sounds so selfish, and I guess maybe in a way it is, but when you start making yourself your center, doing things like taking care of your body, making sure that you're getting enough sleep, making sure that your mental health is okay, making sure that you have hobbies and things that are making you happy, making sure that you're showing up for yourself, everything, in my experience, everything that is not for you, anything that is for you finds you. So the things that are yours finds you, the things that are not for you, they fall away because they're not in your orbit anyway. And you don't have to force it, because you just have to keep reminding yourself that you are your center. And I know this probably sounds so hippie and so like abstract, but I wish I could illustrate it in a much better way. But every single time that I have felt conflicted about what should I do, or feeling lost that I don't know who I am, or feeling super burnt out, it's because I was not making myself my center. And the moment that I did, I came out happier, healthier, more creative, more inspired, more curious. Like, I came out my best self. I am so happy, despite all of the crazy things that I've just recently went through. I am so happy because I am my center. And it did not rock me the way that things should have probably rocked me, and that is because I am my center. So I say that, and it's not easy. Making yourself the center is hard. Like, you have to tell people no. You have to be comfortable with telling people no. You have to grieve losing things. Again, letting things go with grace. Like, you have to do all of that. But at the end of the day, it is so rewarding. I promise you, because you're not left feeling depleted at all. If anything, I feel very redeemed. Make yourself your center. Don't wait for things to be perfect before you start. You cannot wait for life to not be hard anymore before you start to be happy. You cannot wait for you to have the perfect house for you to start buying pieces of furniture or things that you like. You cannot wait until you find the perfect partner to plant the garden that you want because you want to do it with your husband. Like, you cannot put things on hold because time is not promised, and we're only getting older, and your life might not look the way that you thought it was gonna look at this age, but you can still have the things that you've always wanted for yourself. There's a little grieving that might come with that, like, oh, I wish I could have done this with a partner, or oh, I wish I could have done this in the next house, or whatever the case may be, but you have to learn how to enjoy exactly where you are right now. There's no place like the present. There's no place like the present. You deserve to be happy in the clothes that you're currently wearing. You deserve to be happy in the body that you currently have. You deserve to be happy in the house that you currently have, the car that you have. Like, apply that to everything, because if you keep putting it off, you're never gonna be happy. Because then you're gonna be like, I need the next thing, and then I need the next thing, and I need the next thing. Like, no, you need to learn how to be completely okay with just starting now. Buy the thing. You deserve nice things right here, right now. You deserve a job that you can tolerate right here, right now. You deserve whatever it is right here, right now. Like, do the thing. Okay? Next goes to, it's okay to not want what everybody else wants. Give yourself permission to not want what everybody else wants. I don't care, and I know it's really hard, especially in this age of social media, where it's like you're supposed to want this type of house, this type of car, this type of body, these type of clothes, this type of hairstyle. Like, no, it is okay to not want what everybody else wants. If you don't want kids, that's fine. If you don't want to own a house and you're perfectly fine renting something right now, that's fine. It's okay to not want to be married right now. It's okay to not want a traditional career. It is okay, 100%. Like, sooner you make peace with that and not compare yourself to other people and what they have, the happier you'll be. And you don't have to explain why you don't want it to anybody at all. You don't have to explain to people why you don't want kids, or why you do want kids, or why you don't want a house, or why you do want to, like, you don't have to explain it at all. And also, rolling it back, it's okay to change your mind at any time. I haven't even been over that one yet. I knew I put it on the list. You can always change your mind. So say that you know, used to not want this thing yesterday, but today you do. That's fine. You can change your mind. Nobody has the right to tell you that you're not able to change your mind. Don't let people hold you to something as if like they are benefiting from it. Well, you know, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all on you. Like, you're allowed to change your mind at any time. Anytime. And that rolls right into this point that I have here that says, like, don't let a rule you created at 18 still affect your life at 30. Like, you're allowed to change at any time. If you said at 18, this one thing happened to me, and because of that, I'll never let X, Y, and Z happen, yada, yada, yada. Cool. That worked for you when you were 18. You did what you needed to do to protect yourself. But you're 30 now. It doesn't apply here. Give yourself grace. Give yourself permission to change your mind with no shame. Speaking of comparison, if you're on social media, especially if you're on Twitter, we have this debate every other month. Like, and this goes right back into not wanting what everybody else wants. You don't have to work. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to be happy. You don't need to quit your 9 to 5 to be happy. I still have my 9 to 5 because I like job security, and I like a 401, and I like benefits, and I like the prospect of getting public service loan forgiveness. I like it a lot. Like, you don't have to do things that way just because the internet is telling you that you have to do it. If you like your life as it is, if you like your 9 to 5, if you like this corporate ladder, if you like capitalism or whatever the case may be, go for it. But also, running into another one, learn to prioritize what is actually sustainable. This 24/7 grind, not sustainable. Capitalism, trying to monetize literally everything in your life, not sustainable. You can apply this to like diet restrictions, body types, like this 5 a.m. everybody wake up at 5 a.m. and do this whole morning routine every single day. Like, do what is only sustainable for you. You don't have to try to do it because everybody else is doing it. You don't have to do it because everybody else says it. Like, create the healthy habits that are for you. Prioritize things that you actually care about. But yeah, you don't need those things to be happy. That goes right into the next one, hobbies. Have some hobbies just for you. And actually, I'm gonna put this with another one where it says, the things that you used to enjoy as a kid are probably the same things that you need in your adult life. You didn't stop liking them. Somebody just told you you had to grow up. If you like video games, you probably still do. If you like to paint, draw, sew, quilt, crochet, you probably still do. If you like to just be outside, you probably still do. And if you feel like adulthood is boring and monotonous and like you are not getting enough out of life, it's probably because you stopped doing the things that you genuinely, uninhibitedly love. You should probably try to start incorporating those back into your life. And they don't have to be monetized. Back to the hobbies thing. Have something just for you. And it doesn't have to be monetized. You don't even have to post it. You don't even have to share it. Like, just do it for you because you enjoy it. Because those are the things that do break up the monotony of adulthood. You don't have to just go to work, come home, go to bed, repeat. Like, you can fill up your time, your free time, with things that you actually enjoy doing. And then by doing that, you'll realize that, like, you're still a person. Not just an employee, not just a mom, not just a wife, not just all these other things. Like, you're a person who enjoys things. So make sure that you have hobbies, something that is just for you. Stay curious. That's how I stay inspired. Try to learn something new. I still listen to the new music. My friends are always on me because I'm listening to these young drill rappers and these young little kids, Free Melly, all of that. Like, I'm doing that all the time, but it's because I stay curious. I like to know what's new, what's fresh, what's happening. It sounds so old, but I do. I like to keep up on that. I like to learn new programs. I just learned Adobe Illustrator. I'm about to figure out what I'm gonna learn next. I like trying new apps, trying new technology. Like, just stay curious. That will free you up so much. Because again, if life's starting to feel monotonous, if you're feeling bored, if you're feeling uninspired, it's probably because you're doing the same things. And nothing changes unless something changes. So get curious. Try new things. That goes right into the next thing. Do it alone. It is when you're in college or in high school and you've always got your friends attached to your hip, like, it is so hard as an adult to transition into a life where you're doing things, where there's things that you want to do and you don't have anybody to do it with. Do it alone. Again, make yourself your center. Do it alone. Go to the class. Go to the event. Like, go on the date by yourself. Take the trip with yourself. Nobody is gonna come in and save you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming in to, like, say, hey, your life is starting here. You have to create that every single day. You have to go design your life. Go. Even if that means doing it by yourself. It's okay. It's okay. That leads into this next one. No friend, partner, or job is going to check all of the boxes for you. You will stop feeling disappointed once you stop expecting them to fill every box for you. The only person that should be checking off every box for you is you. The only one, there is no one person. And that's why, look at me, all of this stuff is just so connected. That's why I put on here that you also need to cultivate your friendships just as much as you cultivate a romantic relationship or any other type of relationship. You need to be able to have friends that fill some voids for you. And then you fill some voids for you. And then your partner fills some voids for you. Like, you need to be able to diversify the types of relationships and things that you have in your life so that you feel fulfilled. Because no one person, no one job, no one thing is going to fulfill all of those things for you. You're not. And because you're putting so much on this person, this job, whatever, that's why you're miserable. Because they're going to disappoint you every time because they're only human. Or because the job is not supposed to be our entire life. Or whatever the case may be. Like, you need to be able to say, oh, my boyfriend's not into this, let me go here with my friend. Oh, my friend's not into this and my boyfriend's not available, let me go here by myself. Oh, I get this from my job, but it's not doing it for me, let me go take a class so that I can have some creative inspiration. Like, no one thing is gonna check all the boxes. And if you're waiting for that person or that thing to fulfill everything, you're gonna be waiting a long time, or you're gonna keep getting disappointed. And it's gonna trigger your anxiety and your codependency. Ask me how I know. Yeah. The next one, happiness is not a place or a person. Wanna know why? Because until you learn how to be happy with yourself, and until you learn that like you are the happiness, you are the joy, and you can take that anywhere, then you're just gonna keep moving around. As somebody who moved every year looking for like, oh, this place will make me happy, that place will make me happy, this city seems really happy, this person is my home, this person is my happiness. Let me tell y'all, I done moved cities, I done moved apartments, I done did all this other stuff, and I was still miserable. I would still be very depressed. I done got this new job, I'm making this much money, I'm still sad. I done moved in with this person and I love him, and we're in this new place together, still sad. Why? Because I put too much of my, I depended too much on that for my happiness. And happiness is not a person or a place, happiness is me. And I can take that wherever I go. I was on Instagram the other day and I said something very similar to this, where I was just like, you have to realize that you're the thing. Like, you are the thing. You are the coolest thing about your friend group and why it runs so smoothly. You are the coolest thing about that job and why they're able to complete the tasks that they are and they're getting the accolades that they get. You are the coolest thing about that man that you're over there crying about. The coolest thing about him. And once you realize that you are the thing, you can take that and you can take it anywhere. So realize that, own that, claim that. You are that thing, okay? Imposter syndrome is real, but so are your talents. Imposter syndrome is real, but so is your talent. There's somebody out there right now who is less talented than you, less experienced than you, has less education than you, and they're out there doing the thing. And they're making the money from it, and they're getting the recognition for it, and you're sitting here holding yourself back because you're like, oh, I'm not ready yet, or I didn't take this class, or like, I don't have this title, I don't have this degree. No, your talent is undeniable. Use it. Claim it. Because if you don't believe it, who will? Also, stop seeing people who are where you want to be as competition and ask them for help. A lot of times people are really willing to give help. Yeah, you have some people who are weird. The gatekeeper girlie is not one of those, like, avoid them at all costs. But a lot of times people are waiting for others to ask them how they got somewhere, and they are actually open to collaborating with you and teaching you and being a blueprint for you. So yeah, stop doing that. Imposter syndrome will make you feel like, oh, I can't tell this person, they're my competition. They're not. They're just somebody who was just like you, who was like, hey, I want to learn how to do this thing, and then they did it, and then they believed in themselves, and they've gotten to this point. You could be them. Just so you know. Don't be afraid to be transparent. If y'all know me, I'm a very transparent person. I share a lot online, and sometimes that can be seen as like, oh, she overshares, and I get that because sometimes I have. But also never know who you're inspiring, who needs to hear it. It can be like this world can feel so isolating. This life can feel so isolating. And you feel like you're the only person going through something. You're the only person feeling the pain that you're feeling. You're the only person who's experienced something, and it's not that way at all. This is a human experience. A lot of us have more in common than we will ever know. And so I use my platforms to speak out, to be transparent, to share the things that I'm experiencing and I'm learning, and to hopefully encourage others who are going through the same thing to like share. It is okay to share. I know in a society that really values like secrecy and competitiveness and like superiority and like all of this other like BS, like I don't care about any of that. I never will care about any of that ever. Like this life for me is about learning, creating, and sharing that with the world, and that is exactly what I do. Therapy, everybody needs it. Okay, your mama, your sister, your boyfriend, his mama, the kids. Therapy. There's no way that I would have gotten to this point of my journey of having this insightfulness and being able to share these types of things and being able to be comfortable with this transparency without therapy. I have done multiple years of therapy. I'm not currently in therapy, but again, I feel like the only reason I've been able to stand solid on my feet, know who I am, lose the things that I've lost, and gain the things that I've gained is because of therapy. My self-concept is the strongest it has ever been in my entire life. And the things that would have normally knocked me off of my feet have not. I still grieve. I still feel my feelings. I still, you know, deal with what life brings. But because I have such a strong concept of self now, things are not as devastating to me as they used to be. And because I have such a strong self-concept now, I'm able to finally pursue the things that I've always wanted to pursue. I'm finally able just to try things for the sake of trying them without fear, without shame. Not gonna say without fear, I'm still a little afraid sometimes, but without shame. If you don't take anything else from me about this video, like if you don't take anything else from me, it is do what you want to do. You have one life. Do it for you. Do it for you every single time. What is for you is for you. It cannot be taken away from you. You just have to meet God where he is waiting on you at. Like he's already there. He's like, hey, I'm over here. You have to put in your piece, seek that path, do what you know in your heart and in your gut that you should do, and just go. You're always going to find your way. Will you get lost sometimes? Yes. Will life happen and throw you off course sometimes? Yes. But I can promise you, with a strong self-concept that I built through therapy, you will get there and you will get everything that you want, and life will be just as beautiful and as fulfilling and amazing as you've expected it, even though it might not look exactly the way that you thought it was going to look when you got there. Being able to learn that and to accept that and to walk in that has been one of the most beautiful things about my 20s going into this new era. And I'm just gonna leave with that. Okay, so I have to go. I'm going to do some creative things with my best friend, and she just pulled up outside. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to be sharing this new era and to show you guys just how much I am feeling myself and my creativity and finding my aesthetic and finding my wave here. Oh, speaking of wave, y'all, hold on. Tattoo. Me and my best friend got matching wave tattoos over the weekend, and it just symbolizes, well, first of all, I'm a Pisces, water sign, but everything that I kind of talked about in this video, ebbs and flows of life, right? So yeah, anyway, I can't wait to show you guys this new wave, and I'll be back. I promise this time. Bye.